Newly released emails from anti-Trump FBI agent Peter Strzok throwing a wrench in the FBI's official timeline for the Hillary Clinton probe. In an email about Loretta Lynch's tarmac meeting with Bill Clinton and recusal, Strzok notes, in part, this has been under discussion since April, suggesting the FBI discussed the conclusion of its Hillary probe months before interviewing her. Those emails all obtained by Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton. He joins us now with more. First of all, thank you very much for joining us. Second, thank you for all the hard work that you guys have been doing to get this out there in the public, because we wouldn't know about it if it wasn't for you. So tell us about these latest emails that you've discovered.
Well, we began asking for the materials back as soon as the tarmac meeting happened, and it took a lawsuit to get this. And the FBI initially told us they had no records. Then we found they did have records. Then they gave us a batch of records. And then they said, hold on, here's another batch of records. And it included this email from Peter Strzok, who's someone they didn't really want to turn over any records about. And as the email shows, that the FBI, at least Peter Strzok, was upset about the idea of the tarmac meeting influencing the FBI DOJ investigation of Hillary Clinton, because it was already wired. They already made the decision back at least in April, according to this email, that Hillary Clinton would not be prosecuted. And this, of course, was months before even Hillary Clinton was interviewed by the FBI. And
it's interesting because, remember, we heard excuses for that, like, oh, well, this was just a bullet point version, two different versions. We kind of tried to plan ahead as to what may happen, so we just did this in preparation. But clearly, this is evidence that that was not the case.
Well, that's true. And if the FBI was making these prosecutorial decisions back in April, it had nothing to do with the tarmac meeting, at least as James Comey has suggested. In fact, he had decided long ahead of time that he was going to let Hillary off.
Yeah. Well, they just talked about golf and grandkids on that tarmac meeting anyway, right?
Well, Heather, segueing into the next topic, the Justice Department is withholding the talking point drafts that Ms. Lynch was using to defend her tarmac meeting. So this Justice Department is defending the corruption of the last Justice Department. It's really outrageous.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit more about that. This deadline passing for the DOJ to hand over documents to Devin Nunes on this FBI's alleged Russia probe informant. So they were supposed to do that yesterday. They did not do it. So what happens now?
Well, it shows you that the Justice Department has utter contempt for Congress in matters of oversight related to Spygate and Russiagate. This on top of the news reconfirmed yesterday by Fox News that Rod Rosenstein threatened the Intelligence Committee with subpoenas. I'm not aware of that ever happening before. I can't imagine a scenario in these circumstances where it would have been appropriate. Jeff Sessions needs to apologize. President Trump has already intervened once to try to get the records it issued here today to Congress. Justice Department has thumbed his nose at him. He needs to intervene again to get these records. He needs to order the records to be released, because the Justice Department can't be left to their own devices here.
Jeff Sessions needs to actually do something. I mean, really, he's been absent. Thank you so much for joining us, Tom. We appreciate it. IG report tomorrow, allegedly. So we'll talk about that as well. Thank you.